we thought about was, as Christians, our destiny is always connected to the harvest. It should be always connected to the harvest. So what do I mean by that? It means that as ministers, we put our love for God, our relationship with Him first, and then closely behind that is your love for others and your willingness to help them and to serve them in order for them to get to know God. And so when you're at church, it's not just about all these times, all the practices, all the times you're at church. It's not just about being at church. It's not about just going through the motions and the routines. It's about ministry, the true part of ministry. Preparing yourself so that you can serve with excellence no matter what you're doing in order to reach the harvest. And I think more so, we talked about all the things that we observed and learned as we were at church all the time, but I think the greater thing that I have seen, the greatest thing that I've seen, and that sticks out in my mind, is the stuff that goes on outside of the church walls. And the ways that I've seen my parents minister to others that nobody in the world will ever know, but I know God knows. And He's seen. Because it wasn't about anybody knowing about it. That wasn't the focus and that wasn't the point of it. It was to love people and to minister to people and to help bring them to Him. Even when it means sacrificing, you put others first. And my husband and I think about this all the time because we lead three small groups out of our house. And they're different groups, but I think Mom and Dad have probably shown us that that's really where ministry happens most of the time. It's outside the four walls. People are hurting outside the four walls, not just when they come in on Sunday. And so that to me is one of the biggest things that has always stood out to me was just loving people.
I've learned to always do your best in ministry, whether you feel like it or not. That's what makes it ministry, because you are serving, and it's not about you, it's about others, and it's about Him. You don't always feel like being there when the doors of the church are open, but that's what my mom always modeled. Actually, my mom and my dad. I'm going to say my dad in there because it was both of them. And what I feel like I have picked up from my mom, other than what my sisters have already said, she always was involved with the children's ministry. And now that I'm grown and I'm at another church, I pick up my love for children, and I work with our children's choir there in Wilson as well. I was the one in the choir that probably drove her crazy every week. And you would think with your mom being the children's director that you got special privileges that might go on today. Well, back in my day, if you didn't behave, I came home and I think I got a spanking every practice. I was in trouble. I like to make people laugh, and so I know I drove her crazy. But I did pick up on how she, even though I was probably laughing and cutting up with everybody, I did watch her over the years, how she directed the children's choir, and I know, other than I didn't spank the children in the choir, I know I tried to model after what she showed me through the years, and I love working with children just like she did.
So, needless to say, we feel like we have had the absolute best role model in the whole world. And even though we completely understand we will never come close to achieving her greatness, but she has been the perfect example to us of the kind of person we want to be.
For your mercy never fails me, and all my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head. I will sing of the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire and the darkest night. You were close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Yeah. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down and surrendered now, I give you everything. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. With my life laid down and surrendered now, I give you everything. Your goodness is running after me. All my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I'm gonna sing. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness